To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe. Marilyn Savant. My friends, each and every day you can acquire knowledge and you can acquire wisdom. Why? Because we observe these charts as well as study them. We gain wisdom and knowledge by following the price movement along with the volume, practice trading at every opportunity, learning by doing, gaining thereby both wisdom and knowledge. Let's jump into these charts. Everything is down for the day except for Bitcoin. We will start with the S&P 500. I'm doing this a little bit early. I broke a tooth over the weekend eating some food at a restaurant and cracked a back molar, so keep me in your prayers. I hope it's an easy fix. God willing, it will be. But having to do this a little early for you today, so things could change between now and in about 59 minutes because, of course, we're now in the professional hour at 3:01 p.m. Idiot hour is 9:30 to 10:30. That's where the dummies are getting just bowled over by the market makers, the people who put market orders in and just get hammered the next morning. And then, of course, the pros are in the market that last hour. They are really seeing what's going on. I did get a question from one of the Patreon members this last week asking me, when do I look at the market? I say check it twice a day. That's, again, I don't sit there and follow every move of the market. I got more to do. I mean, if that's what you want to do, sit around your pajamas all day and sweat it out, that's like the worst thing in the world to do. You won't survive long, let's put it that way, or at least in reasonably good shape. I typically check the market around 11:30, once idiot hours left, and then the market sort of settles down. Then I look at it again about 3:30, make my decisions on what I'm going to do. If it's a real bloodbath, I could do something in the morning. Things are going through the roof. I'll check it again in the afternoon and just see how things are going. Usually, I've already set my good till canceled sell orders the minute that I get into a trade. I know what it is I want to make on it. I set that at a good till canceled sell order, both pre and post market, and of course during the market. Usually I find in a successful trade, I get cleared sometime. Typically it seems to be pre-market. Sometimes it's post-market, but it's beautiful just to go check your account. Hey, I got kicked out, made this, great. Sold sold the final half. That's wonderful. I love seeing the green. Now let's jump into these charts. The S&P just barely up 0.12%. We again see what may be acting as a ceiling here. We do see that, and again, you got to be careful with these little dashed lines. Always go to it and then move over, because you can see it makes you think that the wick is higher when it's not. But it looks like the wick here did penetrate just a little bit that ceiling that we put in there, and that's okay. We will keep an eye on that. You can see the volume's not that great. Volume was okay last week, almost up to average volume with this doji. So again, showing lots of indecision, not a lot of volume, showing us not a lot of commitment. And again, summertime trading zone don't have the kind of volume you typically have. And of course, as we look at things, we can of course see that we don't have a lot of volume so far this week, 2 days in. Now we look at the 2-day. This is the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It also has a little penetration there. Again, the candle body itself has not gone through. Look at the half day. That's where that penetration occurred in the morning and then rolled over in the afternoon, going back through. So we will keep an eye on things and see what's happening. It would be nice to see this ceiling work, things bounce off of it, give us some kind of signal that indeed the market is going to roll over. But of course, we got to have some volume to help us out here. And we just don't have a lot of volume helping us see what the candles mean. I mean, this last week, that doji tells us there was a lot of price seeking, but there was nothing determined by it. So let's keep moving. We see the NASDAQ 100 down about the same 0.16, 0.17%. Again, we have a green up candle after a red spinning top, almost a doji last week. We did get average volume there. Now, could that be an interim low and then things moving over, going up? Boy, that's an awfully sloppy one, not one I feel comfortable with. Look at the lack of, well, we have some, not much volume here. We look here at the 2-day, not much on this latest 2-day candle, about now where the Friday, Monday peaked. And of course, like the S&P, things up in the morning, burning off in the afternoon. Let's look at 20-year U.S. government bonds. They were up nicely yesterday. They were up nicely this morning. And then what happened? They rolled over like stocks did in the afternoon, down 0.39%. And of course, we see things pushing through on the 2-day candle, that topper that we have tried to find again where things had been those prior 2 weeks. But again, trying to push up through it, although it is down for the day. We've seen that happen before in this up move, a bit of a pullback. We'll see if things recover tomorrow. What about gold? Gold pulling back some, down 0.51%. Really popped up on that Friday, Monday candle. You can see where things Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Monday morning, and then rolling, slowing down Monday afternoon and then rolling down on Tuesday. But again, gold has just continued to sort of tick up, tick up, tick up. Nice average volume last week. But again, not giving us any of the telltale signs on what it's doing and how long it will do it. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin up strong for the day, 4.42%. Now, Bitcoin pulled back on Monday pretty decently, then shot up in the morning, not as high in the afternoon, higher than average volume in the morning, lower than average volume in the afternoon. What's Bitcoin up to? We've seen this before. I'm hoping, like I keep saying, that things are going to reset with Bitcoin. It'll give us just continue with this downward pressure until it gets maybe back to or below the low that it hit back in the week beginning August the 5th, and then reset with, again, a nice red down candle with a wick on the bottom, with average or higher than average volume, and then a green spinning top with average or higher than average volume, giving us a great buying point to ride it up. Please, Bitcoin, do that for us. Otherwise, we're just not going to take the risk with this volatility of jumping into something and getting hammered. Again, like I say, if you're not following the charts, you're gambling, and you might say, well, Tom, I want to trade, I want to trade, I want to trade. Well, there are other stocks and ETFs to look at. These are the ones we follow for training every day. We give you lists of them. If you're a Patreon member, of course, each and every week, we try to come up with 20 weekly vertical crossovers, up and or down. We try to get 10 of each in a good week. Now here lately, again, with this ambivalent market, it's been hard to find a lot, but we always find some to give you something to practice, trade, and look at. So I do encourage you to find your favorites, put them in your quiver, look at them each and every day, and wait for charts to set up properly and practice trade them to your heart's content. We're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. We appreciate all of our Patreon members, and we appreciate you, Patreon member or not, for being with us. We love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.